P.O.D. are easily among the big names of Christian music, although you'd be hard-pressed to categorise them as a Christian band. As Christians in a secular rock scene, they have attracted criticism from Christians and non-Christians alike, even having their latest music video, Addicted, banned from MTV. Their latest album is When Angels and Serpents Dance, and the last 3 days has seen them in New Zealand with metal band Disturbed and Alter Bridge. I caught up with them at Vector Arena before their Auckland show. Well, welcome to New Zealand. Sunny and Trey from P.O.D. You guys enjoy coming to New Zealand and playing here?
Of course. New Zealand's probably one of our favorite spots, huh?
Yeah, man, it's the closest thing to San Diego.
A lot of the P.O.D.'s music especially seems to strike a chord with people. A good example of that is Satellite back in 2001 when that came out. It was on the same day as September 11th. A lot of people they almost touched a need in people at the time. Were you guys surprised by that? Or?
I think we were more blessed by the fact that this is just who we are. It's kind of music, we choose to make. And Alive was actually top of the charts before 9/11, so our album just happened to be coming out on 9/11. And I think because of the events, causing people to think and, emotions stirring up, that we just happened to have that music that was touching the heart and not just, rock and roll or the ears. And, so right now at that point, it just fed a need for people.
There's not many other bands that sort of, openly deal with these issues in an effective way. Does this come natural, or is it more a God thing that, you're free to express those?
I think for P.O.D., we've always kind of been that band that we just kind of write songs about our environment and just, our personal lives and just, who we are as people, where we come from. I mean, it's like, our band's a very urban band, so it's like, everything's real life for us. I mean, it's action-packed, and it's part of, our lives. So we sing about what we live, you know what I mean? So, and I think people relate to that because it hits everybody in a natural place, you know what I mean? Where it's not, forced or pushed or anything like that. It's just who we are, so.
But, the things that we believe in, that just comes out whether we're in a band or not. I think faith isn't just, something you say that you are or you do. It's something that you live, Yeah. And, if we weren't in a band and, we painted or we picked up garbage off the streets, God is going to come through everything that we do. It just happens to be that we're in a rock band that's not known for that, so people instantly smash the two together and like, well, that's different, or that's not right, or that doesn't make any sense. Like, why not? It's music. Music is expression. This is who we are as people. If you want to listen to P.O.D., that's what you're going to get. You're going to get the truth.
I was talking about this last night, sort of saying, hey, P.O.D. is going to be on the show and stuff. And one of the texts that came through, a couple of the texts, people were sort of talking about living in the rock and roll scene and how you guys maybe, they were asking how you guys sort of held on to your faith during that, because it might be a bit trickier in the rock and roll scene.
And you know what? None of us are perfect, but I think that we're living examples of the faith that we believe in, because we're forced to stick to it. Not forced, but we have to. Yeah. We have to stick by that. But not only that, doesn't mean that we're perfect or that we succeed every single time. But it's like, this is real. So either you deny it or you believe in it. It just doesn't mean because you believe in it that you're gonna make the right decisions all the time, or you're not gonna struggle with things. If we wanted to say, hey, this is our faith, and then go hide in the corner, well, we can do that too and be a lot safer. But we're saying, hey, this is what I believe in. Hey, this is the music I make. This is my environment. And, thank God that I know what I know just to even survive what I'm going through now, So, or I'd be really lost. But, as us and individuals, it's like, we have our faith in God, and that will always be there no matter how how good we're doing, how the walk that we're walking. It's like every day we're trying to live, but we're not trying to prove anything to anybody. We're just trying to survive like everybody else, and it is our faith in God that gets us through.
If we go back to when you guys were being approached by record labels in the early days, one of the quotes that came from you, Sonny, was you turned down one by saying, God has bigger plans for P.O.D. How satisfying is it seeing what he's done through you guys, looking back now?
I always believed that. I always believed that, if we would surrender everything that we are to him, that God would keep taking us to the next level. And then now, right now, even for us being 16 years in the game, 5 records on a major, it's more challenging to us now to keep that mentality. And we're trying to encourage each other every day. Hey, dude, let's not get comfortable where we're at. We've had some success. We've been blessed. And then let's just live that and stay here. I believe if God He does have more for us, but we need to be, always surrendering at his feet, always wanting what God wants for us in our life, and then God will keep taking you to the next level. But God will also leave you there. I believe that he'll also leave you there. Hey, if you're cool with that, I believe that God gives you the desires of your heart, but it has to follow according to his will, and I believe God has greatness for all of us. We just have to sit back and let him do it, So even for us, if we want to go to the next level, it's like, hey, we got to look at each other and say, hey, let's do it God's way, and we'll go to that next level.
Awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that God only gives us as much as we can handle. And as soon as he feels that we can't handle it, he's like, okay, well, that's where you're at. And that's where you're going to stay until you get ready.
That's right, man.
You know what I'm saying? And,
sure.
But honestly, man, it's a miracle to me that we're still together and we're still doing what we do. And we get the opportunity to have the voice that we have, and people respect it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And some people don't. For the people who don't,
right on.
You're doing a tour at the moment with Disturbed. Do you guys get on? Have you hung out with Disturbed at all?
We know the guys just through the industry and stuff, and we check out their set, but we're kind of different musics, but it's good to be out here. We've teamed up with the Alter Bridge guys, and we're close knit, so we hang with each other, we do our thing and stuff, and but Disturbed, we appreciate those guys bringing us out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fun, man.
Well, it seems interesting. I've got a lot of friends that listen to Disturbed and stuff, but I also got a lot of friends who were sort of surprised that P.O.D. was on the same bill as Disturbed. But what's your answer to that?
But the silly thing is that people think like, oh, Disturbed's an evil band and P.O.D.'s a Christian band, and there's no way they could do shows. They're not even coming from a musical level thinking like, it's one thing to say, dude, well, they're pretty old school metal. You guys are kind of like different. That's kind of odd. First thing they think is spiritual, and it's like, this is music. This is music. We go on and do our thing. I think most people don't even know that we're on this tour, and they find out later, and it's like, what? I missed you guys. I would have came and seen you guys, But if anything, it's music. We've been playing this for a long time. We're not a new band. We could switch it up. Any other flavor. Play with anybody out there, and we'll play with anybody. We'll go out with rappers. We could do it all, man. We switch up our set just so it goes over well with this crowd.
The legacy of P.O.D. What would you guys like to, people to look back and say, hey, P.O.D. Well,
I would hope that people look back and see that our music inspired them, and that we made a difference, people's lives. And I think really that's what art and music is about. Anyway, it's a very powerful tool I think that God's blessed us with. Mm-hmm. And I think very few people are even given the opportunity or privilege to have that blessing. People die, they get married, they kill people, they have kids, they have amazing fond memories of all kind of stuff because of music. That's the power of it. And I would hope that we be remembered for inspiration and
not killing people though.
Not killing people.
But choices.
That is the power of music.
But choices, yeah, it is definitely.
People have done it.
Choices, decisions, our music made people think, and I don't think we ever set out to entertain anybody. I think it was more of a way for us to release, just that love and that passion that God has put in our heart, and it came across in this kind of music. It comes across in other things that we do, and we don't ever want to be remembered for just a band.
Great. That was
Thanks,
great.
buddy.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for hanging out, Sonny and Trey from
Yeah,
P.O.D.
man. Thank you, brother.
Right on, man.
You have changed, yeah, you have changed, yeah, you have changed. Why do I love you when I know I love you?